Howdy folks, this is Checkers, and this of course is Fallout 4. And, well, I thought we'd just go for a little walk, have a little talk about things, just kind of a general ramble, nothing too specific or interesting. It just occurred to me that everyone's been bound in their homes for a while. And normally, well, I'm not really ahead of anyone's curve, but in this particular case I am. I'm not going on, well, I'm sure I'm going on some number of days, but easier at this point to count it as more than 14 years. And that's why you never just go check a strange thing out right away. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm going into 14 years of being home. And I know there are a lot of people who are frustrated and angry and probably frightened and all of those things, and I can't take any of that away from you. I can't make it go away. I can tell you what happened in my own experience of it, because I tried to fight it, I tried to deny it, I tried everything that I could to struggle against it, run from it, hide from it, however other Thanos you may wish to be about it. Things are as they are. That doesn't mean the end of the world. For me, I struggled and I fell down. I struggled, I ended up in a dentist chair because I thought I had a cavity. Turns out I had just bruised my skull when I fell. And hadn't realized it because I didn't remember it. The more I struggle, the more memories I lose. So I don't struggle so much anymore. I did. Don't get me wrong. I struggled until it became completely obvious that struggling just wasn't going to do it. And so I can't blame anyone else for doing it either. But know this. It will all get easier. It really will. And yeah, I do know. It took 14 years, and in that 14 years I learned to appreciate what I had instead of crying for what I didn't. If I could give one bit of advice, that would be it. It's easy to look at what we don't have, but what's the point? We don't have it. There are things that are good, things that make every day brighter, and we all still have those. Even in the darkest moments, be they memories or thoughts or poems. When friendship or love our sympathies move, when truth in a glance should appear, the lips may beguile with dimple or smile, but the test of affection's a tear. We have access to the internet. There is almost unlimited goodness in our reach. There are amazing games from Fallout to the Elder Scrolls, and Mountain Blade Bannerlord finally came out. Huzzah. I know it's easy for me, or it may seem easy for me to say all these things. Trust me, it cost me to get to the point that I'm at. And I'm not trying to hold it up as a badge of honor or courage. I would trade, well, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, not my worst enemy, and certainly not on my dearest friend. But if you can, have a little trust, have a little faith in what I'm saying. In my last video about all of this, I talked about the fact that our minds work like dirt roads. The more you think a thing, the more you let a thought continue on its path, the deeper the wagon ruts get. But you can change the course of the wagon. You can change the course of your thought. All you have to do when you catch yourself thinking something terrible, think of something exactly opposite. And you can plan in advance, like, have some bookmarks with some cat videos. You'll be ready to go. We're humans. We don't need all that much distraction. It works pretty well on us. Trust me, we'll get through this. And trust is what this is all about right now. We are trusting each other to take care of each other, and that when all is said and done, the sacrifices that you've all made will make the better place, the world a better place for everyone else. Someone was asking me about trust the other day, and I was trying to explain trust is sort of like faith. It's that moment you know something or someone is going to believe you, going to help you without any evidence, without any proof. And it reminded me of this story. This is years back when I was in college. I was at a party with my best friend, and all of a sudden, in the middle of this party, singing and drinking and carrying on, I was just wrong. I felt wrong. Almost terrified, but I wasn't afraid. And I looked at my best friend and told him we have to go home. And we drove together because we lived in apartments. I lived on the apartment above. He lived in the apartment below. So no questions asked. He looked at me, he said, okay. And we went home. And he sat with me in my apartment for a while. And while he was still there, I still felt strange but not horrible. And it was comforting. And then he's like, all right, well, I'm going to go downstairs. If you need anything, call me. So he went down to his apartment, and as soon as he left my apartment, I knew I was alone. And that was wrong, because I had a cat, and my cat was always there. He was a rescue, and from the time he was an itsy-bitsy kitten, and he abhorred the idea of going anywhere outside. If you opened the front door, he would step out, look around twice, and go back in. But as soon as my friend left my apartment, I knew I was alone. And I got on the phone. I called my best friend. I said, get back up here. He's gone. My cat's gone. He ran upstairs, and I had searched the apartment, which wasn't very big, in the time it took for him to get there. And we noticed that my living room window was pushed open just about the size of a cat. And rushed outside, and there, quivering under my car, is my cat, covered in oil and grease and just terrified. So I laid down in the oil and the grease with him and just talked to him for a while, tried to keep him calm, and finally he kind of inched his way over to where I could reach him, and he let me pull him out and got him back into my apartment, crying my eyes out. And my best friend saw that we were okay, so he went back down to his apartment, and I took my cat into the bathtub, and crying the entire time, I softly chastised him, not harshly, because you could tell he had had a really hard day. And he let me give him a bath, the only bath I ever gave him. Cats don't really need baths unless they're covered in motor grease and transmission fluid. But anyway, that was my story of trust. My friend trusted me enough to know that I had a feeling and it mattered. So we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be difficult. There's no question about that. But we can do it. We just have to have a little faith and a little trust in each other. And look for the things, look for the good things that you still have. When I end my videos now, I ask you to think of something you're truly grateful for. It may just sound like words, but try it. And please, all of you, please stay safe and take care.